Hey everyone, I want to talk about some college football conference realignment. In my efforts to make this Packer related, I want to talk about two former Packers assistant coaches who've been in the news a lot lately. Bo Pelini, the head coach at Nebraska, and Turner Gill, the head coach at Kansas now. Nebraska, of course, is now a member of the Big Ten. It looks like that's official. And as far as Kansas goes, the big news about them is looks like they'll be without a home. Not wanted by the Pac-10 or the SEC or the Big Ten, any of these conferences that would possibly gobble them up, don't appear to want them, and sad for such a college basketball powerhouse like Kansas, one of the best in the nation. But what I wanted to throw out here today, and I'm nobody, but I just like thinking about this stuff as I do. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. My proposal for a new conference in college football, basketball, whatever. The creation of a mega conference. So schools like Kansas, I think, have to be proactive, looking like they're going to be without a home. Well, be proactive. Make sure you have a home. And here's what I think should happen. And people can thank me later. I think the Mountain West should team up with some of these schools that might not have a home soon, some of these Big 12 schools and Big East schools, and kind of create a 20-team mega conference. Right now, the Mountain West has 10 schools in it, with Boise State just joining. Looks like that's official as well. So they have 10 teams, the Mountain West, Utah, BYU, some other good football schools there. Now, I think what they should do is team up and have a conference, what I call the American Conference, made up of two subdivisions, the American East and the American West. The American West consisting solely of the Mountain West. The American East Conference made up of some of these Big 12 schools that might not have a home. Schools like Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State, Baylor, maybe some of these other schools, depending on what happens to them, like a Missouri, I don't know. Now, let's add a couple of these Big East schools that probably in a couple weeks won't have a home either. Schools like maybe Cincinnati, Louisville, South Florida, okay? And then maybe add a couple schools from Conference USA if you need to, a Memphis and East Carolina, maybe a Temple if you need. And here you go. I mean, I don't know where some of these schools will end up. I'm sure the ACC might eventually ask a couple of them to join their conference as well, perhaps. But now you've got the American East with all these Big East and Big 12 schools and maybe a handful of others. And you've got the American West with the Mountain West Conference. And you've got a 20-team mega conference. And, I would say these schools these two subdivisions don't even really need to play each other in the regular season. So it's not like this huge 20-team thing that's going to be so confusing that it's unbelievable. Really, what I see happening is the subdivision just kind of plays itself in the regular season with 10 teams. That would be a 9-game conference schedule. Maybe they have one crossover game with the other subdivision, but what they're going to do is they're going to meet in a championship game, a conference championship game at the end, to determine the conference champion and that team that would go on to the BCS. Of course, the future of the BCS has kind of been in question as well after all these conference realignments happen in the next season or so. But, I think schools like Kansas have to be proactive. Find yourself a home, find a place to play. And, I think they have to do that. And maybe some decision makers can thank me later for creating this conference for them. But why not? Why are you going to let everything else play out and just be without a home? Create yourself a home. That would be a fantastic conference, a fantastic conference championship game. Could you imagine at the end of the year, you've got, a team like Cincinnati meeting a team like Utah in the conference championship game with the team going on to a BCS game, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic football to watch in early December. So that's my plan. Just one more side note, I can kind of see how things are playing out with all this conference realignment and how the Big Ten is courting Notre Dame. And I tell you right now, what's going to happen is the Big Ten is going to leave the door open to Notre Dame as long as possible. Yes, Notre Dame wants to remain independent. They might not have that choice after things shake out here. And, right now they add Nebraska to get there at 12. They might add 2 more to get to 14, who knows? But they will always, I think, leave that door open to 16 teams, and Notre Dame being one of them. And if that's a couple seasons down the road yet, I think that'll happen. I don't think they're going to fill up at 16 right now if Notre Dame doesn't join. I think they'll wait, but that's what I see playing out, and I think you can take that one to the bank, for as long as possible. But anyway, that's just what's in my mind. A lot of you probably think I'm crazy, and I'm a nobody, and what do I know? But I have fun talking about it, and everyone have a good weekend, and I'll try to get some more Packer-related news to you as soon as possible. See ya.